a review after watching the 6 episodes of the Meghan and Harry Doco. Now, I'm going to be really honest with you about what I thought about the Doco. No hold barred, just let it all rip, let it get out there and, let you grab hold of it and do with it what you like. I really liked it. I thought it was great. I thought it was the expression of a true love story that is damn complicated because they were marrying, or she was marrying, into a bunch of wankers. And that's the only way I can describe it. That I've always disliked the royal family because as an institution, I think they're outmoded, outdated, should be booted out of every country over which they've tried to dominate. But in this case, I think it justifies my argument because we see how crappy and lousy they actually are as an institution without any care or consideration for those people that they invite in or are invited in by their partners, and particularly if you come from another country and you're black and you have a mind of your own and you believe that you can make some changes that would be helpful to the institution, and all they do is kick you in the friggin' teeth, because that's what they did to Meghan. And look, there were lots of people who would disagree with me. There are people like Piers Morgan, who is just a dick, and there are people on Sky News who are, well, they're the ball carriers of the dick, to be honest. But at the end of the day, I think that this particular doco is a documentary that's going to go down in time and will serve both Meghan and Harry well. There is no dispute, I don't think, about, and there will be people that will disagree with all of this, I get this, about the genuine nature, that the genuineness, I guess, that was expressed by both of them. That scene where she bows and Harry supposedly looks awkward at her. I can tell you now, Harry looks like that a lot. That is a Harry look. That's not him looking at her disapprovingly. It's just the way he looks, for God's sake. Now, there'll be lots of other little snippets that they'll take. The right-wing media will have a go at her and Harry for little things that they say. But when one looks at it, and look, I must confess, even though I'm anti-royal and all that other sort of stuff, I was prepared to look at it with an open mind. That if there were things that they said or did that I grossly disagreed with, I'd be the first one to talk about it. I didn't want to dump on them. I didn't want to be negative about them necessarily. I just wanted to understand their story. And it's a sad story, really. It's sad because she didn't ask for any of this. She didn't ask to... She knew who she was marrying. She knew, I guess, to some extent of what the royal family kind of looked like, but she didn't understand the intricacies of the royal family. I didn't understand most of that stuff. No one's ever invited me in. It's sad, but they haven't. But in her case, her version of things not being prepared, I think, is her version. Other people may say, I taught her how to curtsy, or I told her on which side of the plate to have a knife and a fork. But apart from that, I doubt whether anybody went into great detail to have a look at how she was to behave within this institutional setting. And she was lost and she felt abused by it. And then, of course, there's the overriding factor, which is the media, and how the media has assisted. And, we can either hate, be neutral, or believe everything the media tells us. And I guess it depends on where we're gathering our media information. If we're gathering it off Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever, then we're probably looking in the wrong places. If we're gathering it from reputable sources, those sources that are looking towards some sort of journalistic integrity, then, and we know who those sources are, and they're not the tabloids, if we're looking for it elsewhere, then I guess the sources that we're looking at will be reasonable. But the reality is that it's the tabloids in Britain who control the news items, the what we think about public figures, and they are the enemy, big time. And I think that this particular video, more than anything else to me, apart from telling their story, which I think is a lovely love story, the media are to blame for the breakup and the discharging and separation of these two people from the institution. And look, a couple of other things that I think are really important to note, and that is that there's lots of conversations that Harry has about his mum, and he clearly has a lasting and deep and also most mournful way of viewing his mum, who clearly meant a lot to him. And I think, because of the way she was treated by these same people in this institution, particularly her father and the Queen and the Duke, I guess he's still feeling pretty damn resentful. And I reckon if that was me, I would be too. So I kind of empathise with him around that. And in almost everything, he sees his mum. He sees it in Meghan. He sees it in his kids. He sees it everywhere. And that's because he wants that legacy of his mother to remain, because it's something he values greatly. And I think that's a wonderful thing, to be able to think about another person in our life, like a parent, and to be able to continue their legacy, even though they were with you for a relatively short period of time. I think that's beautiful. And that comes across a lot in this doco. I would suggest, if you've got a chance, you watch it. But if you're going to watch it, watch it with an open mind. Don't watch it with the closed mind of the right wing, who just want to have a go at Meghan because of her colour of her skin, because she's a woman who talks her mind, and because she wants to control the narrative. And that pisses people off big time, because of the reasons I just mentioned. She should not be able to do that. Women who are black should not be able to control their own narrative. But she is. And this other crap, Harry's not a servant to her. Harry's his own man, for Christ's sake. He does his own thing, has his own thoughts. He's lived within this institution his entire life. For him, think about breaking from it, what that must be like, let alone what it was like for Meghan to enter that and then to discover that it was so toxic and destructive. And what courage it takes to be able to side with your partner to try and make a better life, a different life, a challenging life but different for both of you and for your children under those circumstances. I think this is a documentary that demonstrates courage. I'd really like to know what you think, and you can contact me here if you wish on my webpage, and you can see this video on my webpage too, incidentally, later on. But I'd also like you to subscribe and ring the bell and let me know what you think in the comment section here on YouTube. So, what do you think is of the documentary? Be open-minded. Express what you think. Let me know. Love to have a discussion with you about it. Be respectful, right? Even though I think I'm not all that respectful of those people in that institution. I think it's just a bunch of bastards, to be honest. But if you want to have a conversation with me, have a conversation. I'll be respectful to you in that conversation. Let me know what you think, and I hope to be able to catch up with you later. Take care, everybody. Look after yourselves, and more importantly, be safe.